Trying to guess when a market crash will happen? Yeah, it's pretty much impossible. But being ready for one? Now, that's something you can totally control. Today, we're going to break down a really solid, step-by-step plan to turn all that market chaos into a real, disciplined opportunity. So let's dive right in. So, let's kick things off with this absolute gem from Benjamin Graham, who's basically the godfather of value investing. This one idea, buying when everyone else is freaking out, is really the heart and soul of the strategy we're talking about today. It's all about being a realist, not an emotional reactor.
Just picture it for a second. The market is in a total free fall. You know the scene. The news is just a constant stream of red arrows and panic. Everyone is selling, running for the exits. This is that moment where raw emotion just takes over. But not for you. Why? Because right in the middle of all that chaos, you have a clear, pre-written plan of attack.
So this really brings us to a huge question, right? In a downturn, what are you? Are you just a panicked spectator, glued to the screen watching your portfolio shrink? Or are you a strategist, calm, and ready to execute your game plan?
Okay, so look at this. It's like night and day, right? On one side, you've got the spectator. They're just winging it, completely stressed out, reacting to every little headline, and usually selling at the absolute worst time. But then you look at the strategist. They're calm, they're disciplined. They're just following their plan, buying into the market systematically. It's a completely different mindset.
And so, what's the tool that lets you make that switch? Well, here it is, the pyramidal reinvestment plan. In a nutshell, it's a structured, step-by-step method that's designed to rip the emotion right out of the equation. It lets you put your money to work with precision, right when it counts the most.
And this image, this pyramid, this really says it all. The idea is so simple. The base of a pyramid is its biggest, strongest part, right? Well, with this plan, the deeper the market falls, the bigger the chunk of money you invest. You're buying more at better prices, precisely when the opportunity is the greatest. It's just incredibly intuitive when you see it like this.
All right, so that's the big idea. But how does this thing actually work in the real world? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and walk through a practical example so you can see exactly how the pieces fit together.
Okay, first things first. We're starting with a pretty scary number, right? A 60% drop. And you might be thinking, wow, that's pessimistic. But there's a really good reason for it. See, if your strategy can handle a true worst-case scenario like this one, it can pretty much handle any downturn you throw at it. This is all about building a plan that's tough as nails.
Okay, so let's really dig into this table. Imagine you've got a strategic reserve of 1,000 euros set aside just for this. See that first row? The market drops 10%, and you invest just 10 euros. That's only 1% of your stash. You're just dipping your toe in. But watch what happens as you go down the reinvestment per step column. The drop hits 30%, we're in a bear market, and bam! Your investment for that step jumps to 130 euros. If things get really crazy and we hit a 50% drop, you're deploying a huge 260 euros in that one step alone. That right there is the pyramid in action. Your investment size gets bigger and bigger as the market gets cheaper.
Okay, and I know exactly what you're thinking right now. It's the big question, isn't it? This is cool, but hey, why not just be patient, wait for that 60% crash, and then throw all my money in at the absolute bottom? I'd make way more. And you know what? It's a totally fair question.
And the answer is so simple, but it's absolutely crucial. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can perfectly time the bottom. You will never know for sure when it's been reached. What if the market only drops 35% and then rockets back up? If you were waiting for that 60% drop that never came, you missed it. You invested nothing. This plan isn't about being perfect. It's about being prepared and resilient for any scenario. Okay, but hold on. Before you get all excited and decide this is for you, we need to talk about some ground rules. This plan is powerful, but it's not for everyone. Let's make sure it's actually the right fit for you.
First up, and this is a big one, you need a chunk of cash, your strategic reserve that you absolutely will not need for years. Second, you've got to be patient. This is not a get-rich-quick thing. Third, you have to be okay with the fact that you might invest, and then the market keeps falling. It happens. And finally, and this is really the philosophical core of the whole thing, you have to truly believe that historically, markets always recover after a major crash. If you don't believe that, none of this works.
So if you can check all those boxes, then the benefits are just huge. I love this way of thinking about it. The plan is both your armor and your sword when you're on the investment battlefield. Think about it. That strategic cash reserve, that's your armor. It's your defense. It protects you from being a forced seller, and it shields you from that feeling of panic. Then you've got the pyramid plan itself,
Well, that's your sword. That's your offense. It lets you go on the attack and act decisively when everyone else is in full retreat.
So what does this give you practically speaking? Well, 3 amazing things. First, you get clarity. No more guesswork. You know exactly what to do and when to do it. Second, you get serenity, a huge sense of calm, because you're no longer trying to predict the unpredictable. And third, you get performance. The plan, by its very design, forces you to buy more shares at lower prices, which can seriously supercharge your returns when the market turns around.
Okay, so let's boil this all down to the absolute essentials. What do you really need to remember? 1. The deeper the drop, the more you invest. Simple. 2. Stop trying to time the bottom. Just follow the plan. 3. This is a 2-for-1 deal. You're protecting your capital and attacking opportunities at the same time. And the big one, the golden rule, discipline over intuition. Every single time. You have to stick with it, especially when it feels the hardest.
So let's end on this. The next crisis is coming. We don't know when, but it is. So the real question is, how are you going to see it? As a threat that you should be scared of, or as an incredible opportunity that's ready to be seized? With a plan like this, that choice is genuinely in your hands.